texture idea all the way through, and then 10 where you really kind of built it up and layered it. How much did you push that other half, right? The building out and layering. How dense could it get? Did you push yourself far enough? By the way, I hinted at another kind of mark making that we really haven't talked about, but is possible in these, right? Not with the pen, really, but it is possible with pencil. Did anyone notice what I did when I was making that light one with the wiggly lines? I did, I erased it, right? Erasing, right? Those of you who are in drawing probably already are aware of this, right? Because I've said it a couple of times in some videos. But erasing doesn't just have to be for getting rid of stuff, right? Erasing is not just editing. Erasing can be mark making itself, right? You can make light lines into dark areas with an eraser, right? So you can ask yourself, did I do that? Should I have done that? Okay. Another thing to ask yourself, also movement, right? Think about this, right? Each of the boxes I'm going to draw what the whole grid is going to be, right? So it's going to be 3 by 4 on Bristol board. Okay, I'm not going to draw them all in, but you get the idea, right? 3 by 4, 12. So basically you're picking your 12 best from your sketchbook. And let's say that your favorite one is going to be this one right here, which is going to be based off of what I did right there. It's just like, oh, I love that one. That is my favorite texture mark idea I came up with out of this whole process. I'm really pleased with it. And then, but you also want a really dark one right there to help draw our attention. But you also want to make sure that it's helping to really direct our eye towards that one. That you don't want anyone to lose sight of the fact that even though that one's kind of light and not super dense, it's still the one that you want people to pay attention to as being precious and really interesting. How might you do that? In terms of movement and direction, right? Because there's movement and direction in terms of individual marks, but there's movement and direction that each individual unit each set square of texture can create. Well, all right, I'll just kind of, let's say we take this kind of idea as a starting point. Right? Do you see what I did there? Right? So there's this like really dense texture, and so there's a couple of things going on here. Does your individual square need to be consistently the same in terms of density, value, and even texture all the way through? Or can it kind of go from dark to light, or from dense to less dense, from one corner or from one side to another? But also, can it, through the direction and the activity and the movement of the mark making, can it basically be a pointer saying, go there, next. That's the one you really should look at. That one's cool, trust me. That's my favorite one, right? That make sense? Okay, so at the end of class, we're going to just talk a little bit more very quickly about exactly the homework assignment and then also the project that we're going to be working on. But for right now, I want you to work. You can either work in your sketchbook or start working on the homework, right? I would actually recommend that everyone spend at least 10 or 15 minutes in your sketchbook pushing yourself to say, can I increase value in certain areas? Can I increase density in certain areas? Did I push myself to make as much variety as I could, or could I still do further, right? And also start thinking about like individual squares, which ones are going to pair up with each other nicely, okay? And in the meantime, I'll show you the 3D design room, and you can get started doing the same thing. And all right, I'll be right back.